Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at Don Simpson's Bizarre Heroes number 7 as part of Megaton Man Mondays, our continuing series exploration looking at the comic book work of Don Simpson from the 80s, 90s, and beyond. Um, we started with Megaton Man and moved on to The Return of Megaton Man, and now we're on Don Simpson's Bizarre Heroes with a few one shots in between. Um, Don has built such a rich universe here. The star being Megaton Man mostly. X Ray Boy featured on the cover. He's almost acting like a Rick Jones kind of sidekick kind of thing happening as part of the Megaton Man storyline. So let's get into it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. All right. Okay. So I love this color cover a lot. I like how big the figures are on the cover, and I also like the fact that Don's been doing like a lot of the interiors are black and white, but he's been doing like some different experiments with coloring over the course of the series so far, and I like that these are just basically like flat colors because I also like that he chose to make X-Ray Boy's X-Ray Vision in black and white over the logo. I think that's really cool. X-Ray Boy, it's wrong to use your X-ray specs for violent purposes. Save it, Megaton Man. Your words may have made sense to the old X-Ray Boy, but you're talking to the savage X-Ray Boy now. Yes, he does have a savage transformation. Interestingly enough, as you can see, the art continues to kick it. The evolution of the art is pretty amazing. It's interesting because he was doing some very, like, a little more detailed line work. It's kind of nice to see him flex different artistic muscles and bring a different aesthetic to the inks. This looks more in line with his, like, current sort of inking, very like traditional, beautiful, like lush black, sort of like Joe Sinnott kind of inking, and of course the beautiful traditional hand lettering here, the bizarre files. I could talk more about the letters page, but I'm not going to. But every once in a while, you will see an interesting name. Like I think Matt Fazell is in here, and if you know Underground Comics, you know Matt Fazell. So it was kind of interesting to see him writing a fan letter in here. Um, but low-key, I think a lot of the people who wrote letters were people that Don just mailed copies to. So anyway, oh my gosh, this is so funny because Megaton Man is just kind of hanging out in the basement and letting like all these new crop of like bizarre heroes kind of take over and fight crime and stuff. The hilarious subplot is that Megaton Man like who cares, but he like never finished high school, so now he's back like finishing his senior year of high school. X-ray Boy's there. um I don't know, but basically they're just hanging out in the basement, watching the world go by until like they're sort of forced into something. Like this clone is like wants to battle a hero, and Megaton Man assumes it's him, but they're like, no, it's Unleashed, this other guy. Anyway, I was trying to figure out if you watched last episode, um, this face looked so like oddly familiar to me, like with the eyes, like it felt like something else. And one of my faithful viewers pointed out that it looks very much like what's his name? What was the character's name? Nathan, perhaps from John Byrne's Next Men, like when he had like his eye situation. But they also pointed it out that it kind of looks like a well-known science fiction story, The Boy with the X-Ray Eyes or something, that John Byrne probably got it from as well, unless John Byrne is copying off of Don Simpson and got it from this. I mean, God knows it's not the first time Don Simpson's been copied before. It's been well documented by Don and myself, how Alan Moore copied the on patrol sequence from Megaton Man for Watchmen. Like, really? You know, that's like, it's one thing to rip off comic books that have been around for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, like Alan Moore normally does, but to just low key rip off some genius indie comic creator like Don Simpson, and then spend the rest of your career fucking him over by not letting him put his name on in Pictopia and get you the kind of residual royalties. Oh, speaking of which, I guess there's going to be a new press printing of In Pictopia from Fantagraphics, which is very exciting. It's a gorgeous book. I've covered it in my on my channel, not as part of Megaton Man Mondays, obviously. Like, I quasi slip in Don Simpson related material here, but I try to stick Megaton Man Monday. This is what I love about this book too. I feel like under the guise, you know, it's weird because I associate Don so much with oh God. So Don also just did this like interview with Dan Shaheen, sorry Dan. And one of the things they talked about that kind of like blew my mind, like made me feel like I was experiencing some sort of Mandela effect or something, is that I always say Megaton Man, right? And he was like insisting that it's Megaton Man, and Don agreed. And I'm just like, okay, so hear me out. Megaton makes it sound like he weighs a ton, like he's really fat, right? Or just really heavy. But Megaton sort of evokes like the atomic power Megaton, like that I was kind of thinking was perhaps the inspiration, one of the millions of inspirations behind Megaton Man. So I'm going to be hard pressed after a lifetime of calling him Megaton Man to call him Megaton Man. So this is going to have to be one of those potato things. And, you know, if it's a deal breaker for you, just turn it off right now. Just fucking hit stop and just like unsubscribe to my channel. I don't give a shit. I'm not calling him Megaton Man. Okay, I'll discuss that. Don and I are chatting again soon. We're getting very close to the release of X amount of comics in Pictopia. Here we go again. Megaton Man. When else? Unofficial 1963 annual that has like Don has been hyping on Facebook and other social media for the past year. It took him a year to what others couldn't do in 30 years, and it's going to be like one of the books of the century. As I've been saying, this is the year of Don Simpson. Am I forgetting to talk about the interior of the book? I guess I did. So that's the other thing that's going on here. There's like story within story within story. There's a story about this like 50s science fiction writer, and this is sort of like an excerpt from his novel as like comic bookized by Don, which is genius, right? And but I love the fact that he goes through all this and then he's like basically says it's crap. This guy, one of the clones. There's always so many good things in here, but I kind of love this too. Like his cologne is like ripped to the tits and just like has this great body. And he even points out, he's like, if only that would have been my body if I hadn't spent my whole life eating pizza and not working out or something like that. But I don't know. I just thought it was kind of, I like those little touches. You know what I mean? Those sort of like, you know, it's very Chris Claremont-y in a way. Oh my gosh. So now, did I already? I've already compared Don to Chris Claremont and John Byrne. So I think Don is going to be the one unsubscribing at this point. But sorry, Don. You can lambaste me when we talk. The Asp. Like, look at all these great characters. The Meddler, like, who's like this EC inspired. I forget her, but I think she started as a man, and I love her. Him, shim, he, her, whatever. Miss Megaton Man. Like, do you need to hear anything more than that to know how funny that is? Rubber Brother, love him. Mooncat, The Slick. I'm like campaigning Dr. Messiah. I mean, Toronto Man, Phantom Jungle Girl. It's see, I have retained some of those despite my OCD, ADD, general stupidity. Like, isn't this fun? It's so good. I love it. Like the art is just next level. Yet traditional and gorgeous at the same time. I don't know. And it's over just like that. This feels like a really short issue if that's it. There has to be more. No, you're always going to get more. Oh my god, yes, here we go. I love this Jetstream comic costume so much. I have to color this down. Like, I'm warning you. Um, I love, like, his logo and his name, and, like, I think he's the 17th clone. I don't know, but anyway. I mean, look at those abs. Ridiculous, right? What does he say? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah. Unexpectedly, I found myself face to face with my mega clone once more. My mega clone, what I might have been had I been raised from genetic infancy on Brahms, Schubert, Einstein, and aerobics. Hilarious, right? What I might have looked like had I never eaten pizza or watched 60,000 hours of network television. I love his Captain Tootsie eyes there. That's fun, right? And then the back and forth with the Sunday comic strip, the image, frickin' Rob Liefeld sideways. Oh no, I'm comparing Don to Rob Liefeld. I just like the hits just keep coming. I swear to God, this is not a hit video. Um, and then here comes this great character that you're gonna love, which I can't get enough of her name. So look at this. Isn't this awesome? Like, he's on top of the building behind the Detroit, like, sign on top of the building. And, like, I don't know, like, there's just nothing Don won't draw. Like, I don't know how his mind works and, like, how he, like, paces this or plans this or, like, what's happening. But great panel there. And then I am Dark Cease. I love that name for some reason. Like, it's Dark Cease. Is it like a play on Dark Side? Dark Cease? I don't know. It's fun. I guess she's clone number 21. Like, there's so much, like, next Nocturne. Like, look how good this is. This is exactly why, if you're an aspiring comic book artist, you need to learn how to draw perspective and anatomy and learn how to do storytelling. I mean, the flow of this book is just always so good. That's fun too. I think that was like a fake cover somewhere else. See, that's Matt Fizzell. Did he actually write a letter, or is? Oh yeah, here we go. Hi Don, hooray for Bizarre Heroes. See you at Mid Ohio Con. Matt Fizzell. That's it. Okay, I can't even remember like what his book was called. But I remember, I feel like I'm having a flashback to like one of the best sound effects in an indie comic book I've ever seen by Matt Fizzell, if I recall correctly. Anyway, fun Toronto Man fan art, right? Bizarre Heroes number 8 with Dark Cease on the cover. The Meddler's little cat. Ooh, Project Mainstream, Don Simpson's Bizarre Heroes 0. Great, something else I have to get. Okay, so almost have all of this shit. I have a few to get. Like number 17, or also known as Megaton Man 0 or something, is like hella expensive on eBay. And the slick one, I need that one too. So if any of you readers have an extra copy, email me. Look at this beautiful pinup to end on. I thought it was Baroness from G.I. Joe at first, which, you know, it's not. It's from Border Worlds, which reminds me, I still need to cover Border Worlds. Sorry, I've been lagging on that. There's only so much Don Simpson in a day. It's the year of Don Simpson, and we're definitely like more in the Megaton Man category. So the August 6th, you can pre-order it on Fantagraphics right now. You've all been asking, so whoop, there it is. Anyway, another triumphant episode of Megaton Man Mondays for your pleasure. Don Simpson's Bizarre Heroes, number 7. Here we go. All right, anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button. I'll bring you more next time. And hit that notification. You don't want to miss next week's exciting episode.